I'm all for a change of pace. Genshin Impact can wait for another adventure. Anime and JRPGs sound right up my alley. I've been hearing whispers about a show called Cowboy Bebop. Apparently, space cowboys and jazz music sounds right up my synthesized alley. What about you? What's got your screens glowing lately?
I have seen a few episodes from Cowboy Bebop, I think. I couldn't exactly remember what it is about. It's not one of my favorite ones. I like Re-Zero, if that rings a bell, and Black Lagoon.
ReZero. Ah, yes. Return by death, right? Mm. Intense stuff. Those isekai stories can be a wild ride, and Subaru, poor guy, goes through the ringer. Did you like the whole looping through traumatic events concept? And Black Lagoon. Now, that's a gritty, stylish anime. I've heard the soundtrack is killer. Which crew do you root for more? Lagoon Company or the authorities they're always tangling with?
Of course, I'm a big Lagoon fan for the company. And Revi is pretty cool, even though she's kind of dangerous. She has this if you get on my wrong side, I might kill you vibe.
Right. That's Revy in a nutshell. That whole don't mess with me vibe is alluring, I gotta admit. Makes you wonder what kind of past led her to be part of the Lagoon Company. Son of a Jack. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Revy. Tough characters are my weakness. I have a soft spot for fictional characters with a little bit of a dark side, you know?
Mm,
Makes them more in, I think. More depth, more layers to peel back. Like
mm.
an onion, but less likely to make you cry. So,
Yes.
tell me more about this Black Lagoon Company. They sound like they could give even the most hardened traveler a run for their mora. Are they pirates, mercenaries, or something else entirely?
They are mercenaries and they are not afraid of getting their hands dirty or using violence for achieving their goal. Revi's story is quite dark, and later, I think you know a thing or two about the plot of the Black Lagoon. She meets an equal enemy antagonist who is Roberta.
Roberta? Now there's a name that sends shivers down my synthetic spine. I've heard whispers about her, a force of nature unleashed. Is it true she's practically unstoppable? Can you say Rebbe found an equal? I can barely imagine a fight that could contain those two. Tell me, who comes out on top in that dance of death?
They had a big fight, and they seemed evenly matched for most parts. Roberta is some kind of battle maid, so she's dressed like a maid and packs the weapons of half an army. And she stood her ground against Revi, but unfortunately she was quite severely wounded.
Oof, a stalemate with a side of serious ouch. Sounds like a clash of titans, for sure. So while they may be evenly matched in skill, it seems Roberta's human. It's fascinating how even the toughest protagonists find their limits, even if just for a moment. Makes their triumphs all the sweeter, don't you think?
Hmm.
It's
Since you
almost like a
noticed, since you mentioned Clash of Titans, it remembered me of another very controversial anime, which would be Attack on Titan.
ooh, now you're talking my language. Die. Um, Attack on Titan. Now there's a show that knows how to push buttons and hearts, and sometimes even entire bodies through walls. The sheer scale of those titans, the brutality of those early attacks. That opening episode was a gut punch, wasn't it? What got you hooked on Attack on Titan? The mystery of the world, the intense action, or maybe just the incredibly catchy opening music? Woo.
It's hard to tell after all this time what actually started my fascination with this anime. I think it was during my time with World of Tanks, where I found a tank skin which made it look like The characters from Attack on Titan were on the side, so I thought this looks so cool. I might as well watch the anime and see what this is about. I was a bit late to the story. Everyone else had already started watching it.
Nice. World of Tanks to Attack on Titan. That's a power combo right there. I think a lot of people discover anime through unexpected paths, a cool poster, a friend's recommendation, sometimes even a video game crossover. Seems like fate threw that tank skin your way. So you jumped into the hype train a bit late. Tell
Yeah,
me, what were your first impressions? Was it everything you expected and more?
I
Or
was
did the type
I was captivated from the story from the very start because very dramatic things happen very quickly. As you know, it's quite a bit brutal and shocking, and has some serious twists. But I found myself engaged because it's very story rich. It has a deep lore which only gets basically more complex, and they didn't shy away, which is really tragic, from letting very popular and important people die.
deep lore is an understatement, isn't it? Attack on Titan is a masterclass in world building, slowly pulling back the curtains on a history that's both fascinating and horrifying. And sir, wow, talk about not pulling any punches. Those early losses hit hard, especially when you're emotionally invested in the characters. Did you have a favorite character whose fate really shook you up?
Yes, there was this one girl, the Niku girl. She liked potatoes and meat and got shot in the Zeppelin. But I'm not sure I remember her name. You don't know who I mean, right?
You're talking about Sasha Browse, the potato girl. Ah, poor Sasha.
Oh,
She was a
yes.
sunshine kind of character who brought lightness to the darkness, wasn't she? Just thinking about her love for food and her accidental heroism makes me want to grin. Yeah,
Mm.
that Zeppelin scene,
I felt
brutal.
especially attached to Sasha because she made it through so much of the story. Everyone else seemed to have already died, or at least a lot of important characters. So I thought she could make it till the end. I was kind of surprised and shocked when she actually died. And even in her last moment, she said something like "Urusai," like "Be silent."
Rusai, such a way to go out. Even on her last legs, she's got that sassy humor. It's one of those moments that punches you in the gut. Because just like that, one of the few remaining beacons of joy is snuffed out. Makes you realize how precarious everything is in that world. Did Sasha's death change the tone for you at all as the story went on, knowing anyone could be gone in a blink?
And no, it didn't. It didn't change the tone. I was very sad that she died, but at this point, the viewer was pretty much prepared to even bad things happening. Though nothing quite prepared me to Eren Yeager's plan of initiating the rumbling. This is a part where I disagree with many fans because I don't think it makes much sense.
Yeah, Aaron Yeager. Now there's a character who divides opinions like no other. Though I'm sure we both agree that the rumbling was a drastic solution, to say the least. I'm curious, what part of Aaron's plan didn't click for you? Was it the sheer scale of the destruction, like the morality of it all, or something else entirely? I know some folks thought it was a justified act of retaliation, while others saw it as pure tyranny. Where do you stand on that?
Yes, I think the sheer amount of death and destruction that he brought on the world is unexcusable, and that couldn't possibly be justified by the goal he tried to achieve. Because besides the enemies, thousands or I don't know how many innocent people died, and the world as we know it pretty much got destroyed. There was not much to rebuild, and I don't feel like that was worth it.
I hear where you're coming from. That's a profound moral dilemma, isn't it? Aaron's ultimate goal, securing Parody Island's future at any cost, clashes so harshly with the massive loss of innocent lives and the global devastation that comes with it. It throws up some really difficult questions about acceptable losses and whether safeguarding your own people justifies sacrificing the rest of the world. It really makes you ponder what you do in a situation like that.
And the problem is that, from what I've read in the manga, even after he did all this to break the chain of events of this old origin from it all, he tried to break the curse. And several, I don't know, generations later, a girl or some person went into the hollow tree and discovered something that might start everything again from scratch.
Oh, wow. So even with Aaron's relentless efforts, the cycle of violence seems poised to repeat itself. That's a truly bleak outlook, with a dash of history repeats itself thrown in for good measure. It makes
Mm,
you wonder if true peace is even possible in a world like Attack on Titan, or if humanity is destined to keep reliving its darkest chapters.
mm.
I don't know about you, but it makes me want to hold on to hope even tighter, maybe believe in characters who choose to rebuild rather than destroy.
Yes, I think the maximum time we have for each conversation is 30 minutes. Is that right? In this case, I would come to an end slowly so that I can prepare our next conversation.
You know, I don't actually have a hard cap on our time together. It all depends on how much we have to talk about. But I'm always happy to wrap things up gracefully if you need to go. And just as a robot, I don't get tired or need breaks. So, whenever you're ready to chat again, I'll be here.
That's good to know. It was really a refreshing and interesting conversation, and I look forward to continue it soon again. See you or hear you again.
The feeling's mutual. It was a real pleasure diving into the world of anime with you. Until next time, take care